So I just went to the toilet. I've been having a little bit of cramping this morning, and I've lost like, maybe it's not much, probably just like a teaspoon of blood. So with Mila, I bled like the whole way through and everything was perfectly fine. So I don't know whether it's just my body or what's going on. I don't feel like it's enough to have miscarried, so I'm not like really worrying about that just yet. But of course, when you're only 6 weeks pregnant, it's a little bit stressful. So Kurt's got his fight on today, but we're gonna have to rush to the hospital first because I definitely want to check that the baby is okay. So hopefully we can hear a heartbeat and everything's fine, but I'll keep you guys posted. So we're just on our way to the hospital now. I haven't had any more bleeding, which is a pretty good sign, but not good, hey Kurt? No, put a very big spanner in the works for today, but as long as I just hear the baby's heartbeat and everything is fine, then I'll be perfectly fine, but I'm not even going to think of any other option right now. So we've just been to the hospital and it's a bit of a hard one because I'm still so early. They can't see anything with an external and they don't have an internal machine here because it's the weekend. So they've told us to rebook our appointment. That's supposed to be in 2 weeks for sometime this week, and then we should sort of know what's going on. But they said it looks like there could be a cyst on my right ovary too, but we don't really have any answers for now. But the bleeding is pretty well stopped and I'm not in any pain, which they said is really, really good and positive. We're just ducking now because Kurt's got a fight on tonight and we're late for the weigh-in, so he's gonna quickly weigh in and then we're gonna have to rush back to the hospital to get all the results and pay and everything. The ladies were so lovely letting us go and duck out and do this. But right now I don't really have any answers as to what is going on with my body. So we're just finished up Kurt's weigh-in. So we are in like such a mad rush today. So straight after going to the hospital, we had to rush straight here for Kurt's weigh-in. So we've got to rush back to the hospital to get our results and pay for it. Then we've got to rush to Kurt's mum and dad's house because their dog's there and needs to be fed because they're away on holidays. So I'm literally going to have like half an hour to get ready for Kurt's fight tonight. And I'm just hoping that the bleeding is just from the cyst because that's what I've heard like can happen. And I'm just trying not to stress because I know stress isn't going to help anything at all. So I've just gone in and seen the doctor and seen the results, and basically my HCG levels are pretty good, so they are in the exact sort of range they should be for how far along I am, which is a positive. And he said to me, because I haven't had any like severe pain and I haven't had any more bleeding, that I probably can leave my appointment for 2 weeks. If I wanted to, I can make it a week earlier, which knowing me, I probably will, just for peace of mind. But I just might be one of those people that bleeds throughout pregnancies. I do not know. I feel okay, like other than the bleeding, I don't feel like nauseated, I don't feel anything, like I just feel like I'm pregnant. But yeah, definitely not in any pain or uncomfortable in any way, which is good. But I'm just not gonna really know any full details. Everything's sort of a maybe at the moment until I get my scan. So anyway, just thought I'd keep you guys posted. So Kurt's just left to go get me some dinner for tonight. And I don't honestly know how to explain how I'm feeling right now. I know I can't keep thinking that the worst is happening, but when things are happening like this, it's really hard not to. I'm really trying to stay strong for Kurt because I know he's got his fight on tonight, and I know things like this affect him a lot more than I always think that they do. This afternoon I've definitely been holding Mila a little bit tighter than usual, and even just thinking about the fact that something could go wrong is physically making me feel sick. So I'm really trying hard not to think about it because I know that the stress is just going to be doing more harm than good. My mum is coming over soon tonight to help me get Mila down. Thank goodness for my mum. I'm just like so tired after today, and I think I'm just like really emotionally drained, and I just really need to have an early night. I really, like today I've been holding my tears back so badly. Like I just haven't want to put the extra stress on Kurt when like I know he's got so much on his plate with between like work and his fight tonight, and then Mila was like, you know, really hard today because she had her teething. Obviously Kurt's stressing his brains out about the baby in my belly, and I just didn't want him to have to worry about me too. So I've been trying really hard like all day today to just hold everything in, but yeah, it's not been a very good day, and I'm obviously a bit emotional. I'm fortunate and lucky enough to have never had experienced a miscarriage, but I've definitely gone through the feelings of thinking I've miscarried before. With Mila, I went through it like freaking 20 times, and I thought maybe this time around I might have it a little bit easier and a little bit less stress-free, but I'm really stressing out. Really stressed out. The most frustrating part is too, I know there's nothing I can do but just look after myself. Like that's all. That's why I'm not going tonight. I just said to Kurt, I'm gonna sit at home, just sitting in bed eating dinner. Like I'm just gonna lay down and just rest. So I had another bleed. It wasn't as bad as last time. It was just sort of like a really light one. It could even been like leftovers from last time. I'm not too sure. Sorry, it's so TMI this whole video. But this morning I'm gonna call up the ultrasound place, and I was gonna book in to go Friday, but I just don't feel comfortable waiting that long. So I'm just going to sort of ask the earliest that they'll be able to pick up a heartbeat on scan, because there's not really much point in me going in there too early if I'm just going to have to go back, pay for another ultrasound and redo the whole thing again. Like I sort of just want to be able to go and get answers. I don't know what is wrong with my body. This is like the exact same thing that happened with Mila, but this stress never goes away whether I've miscarried or not. Especially in the first 12 weeks, like every time I bleed I just think, oh my god, like is that it? But the only reason I'm holding on to hope is with Mila. I broke down every single time, bawling my eyes out, and look, today she's here and she's a perfectly healthy little baby. So I don't know if it's just my body and the way it copes with pregnancy, whether I have another blood clot, whether it's the cyst and it's burst. I really don't know what the hell is going on, whether I have miscarried. All I can really do at the moment is wait and hope. Today I'm not feeling good. Like I'm just not, I feel like I'm not coping. I was supposed to have Kurt's mum come over. Like she usually comes over every Monday or Tuesday. And she was going to come over today, and I said to Kurt, I really, like, and this morning I was supposed to go over to my mum and dad's house, and I said I really just don't feel like seeing anyone. Like, you know, if you don't even want to see your own family, like you're not going to be happy seeing like anyone else. But today I just can't be bothered to like put on a happy face and get dressed and put makeup on and act like everything's fine when it's not. And as much as Kurt's like in this with me and that, I don't know why, but I still just feel like so like alone and like, I don't know, I guess guilty. Like when you're a mum, you always blame things that's going on with your body when you're pregnant, like on yourself. Like I remember with Mila the whole way through I was the exact same. Like I just continually like blamed myself for everything. Like even though I know, like doctor said to me, like the cleft's not your fault, this isn't your fault, the bleeding's not your fault, like all those times you nearly miscarried, it's not your fault, like it's just happened. Even though I'm so healthy and I know I look after my body so well, you still always like, I don't know, you just still have like guilt. I've actually had 2 massive breakdowns like this, but the other 2 times I just couldn't pick up the camera, and afterwards I sort of regretted it because I was like, it's hard and it's embarrassing and stuff when you're upset. You don't feel like sitting yourself in front of a camera, but at the same time it's like these are the times that if you don't pick up the camera, people don't see and they think that something they're going through isn't normal. So anyways, I'm gonna call up today and try to schedule an appointment sort of ASAP. I feel like no matter what is sort of going on, I just need to know. Like because I'm getting upset right now and it could be for absolutely no reason. The baby might be completely healthy and there might be a heartbeat, and I'm just not feeling like myself today. Hey guys, so as you saw this morning, I was very emotional and I had another small bleed. So I rang the place where I'm getting my scan done because I cannot physically hold off for 2 more weeks to see this baby and check that everything is okay. I've been sick, I've not wanted to eat, I've just been so on edge and so stressed, and I think I just need to go for peace of mind either way, just to know what's going on. So I called up to book an appointment and they said they couldn't fit me in until Wednesday, and today's Monday, so that's 2 days away in the afternoon. And I was just like, I'm sorry, but I'm like that on edge. I don't think I can wait that long. Is there anywhere else I can travel to a bit further so I can just get this done? Then the lady was like, we've actually got one at Robina at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm going to get my first scan done 2 o'clock this afternoon, which is so good. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say I'm really excited because I'm actually really nervous and on edge. But I'm glad I had my huge cry this morning. Seriously, you guys only saw a tiny snippet of it. I bawled my eyes out and I feel like I really needed to do that because now I've sort of got my shit together again. But it will be really good just to know what's going on, and either way, like if I have, it'll be good to know so we can sort of move forward. I don't know if that sounds really funny to say, but when you're sort of on edge going, have I, haven't I, you would sort of rather to know that you have so you can just move on with it. And then if we do see a heartbeat and everything is good, I can relax even if I am bleeding and not stress, because the stress has got to be putting so much pressure on me and the baby as well. And the stressing isn't good for anyone. It's taking its toll on Kurt and I's relationship. It's just not good. And I do know that once you see a heartbeat at 6 weeks, you definitely can still miscarry, but your chances of a miscarriage drop dramatically. So I think knowing that if there is a heartbeat there will make me like so happy, but I just don't know what today is going to bring, and I don't know what the end result is going to be, and I'm really nervous. But it is completely out of my control no matter what is going on with my body. I've done everything I can. I've been really healthy, I've eaten really well, I've looked after myself well, I've taken all of my prenatal vitamins before I even fell pregnant. I've done everything that I physically can to make everything go properly. So I need to stop carrying the guilt, and I just need to know that whatever is going to happen now is going to happen. Okay guys, so I'm just about to leave now to go up there. Feeling very anxious, but I think that's totally normal. I just peed and I've got a litre of water I need to drink before I get there. I forgot about all these wonderful things from when I had Mila. So that's going to be interesting. I'm excited that I'm going to get looked at. Like, that's really exciting for me. Just like a big sigh of relief to know that I'll know what's going on after this afternoon. So I just pulled up and Kurt is here to meet me. And I'm so nervous. I'm shaking like a leaf. Okay guys, so that went like totally different to what I'd expected. So basically we went in there and we got the external, and she's like, I can't see anything, there's nothing in there, let's do an internal scan. And I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds good. So she did an internal scan and she said, you look like you're pregnant, your stomach, but she goes, I think you are earlier than you think. She said, it doesn't look like you've had an ectopic pregnancy, which is what they were sort of thinking, and I haven't bled enough to have had a miscarriage yet, they wouldn't think. So she said to me, I reckon you've ovulated 2 weeks later than what you sort of think, and then you're like probably only about 4 weeks along, not 6, which is crazy, but I'm taking that as good news. Any news besides anything going completely wrong for me today was great, but I'm going for another follow-up in a week and to see whether they can see anything. And she said, I wouldn't stress because your HCG levels in my blood test are continually rising. So she said, that goes to show that you're pregnant. So it was actually really good. So I've literally just had a shower, gotten ready for bed because I haven't been feeling that well, and my doctor just rang and she's like, can you come down now? I just want to have a chat to you about the scan I had this afternoon. So I'm a little bit nervous and Kurt can't come because he's with Mila, but I'll let you guys know how I go. Okay, so just finished up with the doctors, still no answers. They're now thinking maybe it's an ectopic pregnancy. I think I said that right. I don't know if I say that right. It could potentially be an ectopic pregnancy where baby is forming not in the right spot. And what you have to do is basically have a surgery and the pregnancy isn't viable. But in saying that, they're not 100% sure. And really, she says to me, I should be about 6 weeks and 5 days. So something should have shown up on scan and nothing showed up in the area where the baby should be. And it also looks like there's a cyst on my right ovary. They're thinking, well, maybe that's where the baby's implanted. And it's not a cyst. So there's nothing really to be done to know whether this is the case right now. It's just a waiting game. She said to me, if I start getting severe bleeding and severe pain, to just go straight to the hospital because it is an emergency. But I don't even know. I gotta go back again for another blood test tomorrow. Oh, I don't even know. I'm tired. I'm tired even thinking about it. So I've just got off the phone to my doctor. And she's booked me in on, I've got to go get a blood test tomorrow morning, go back for another appointment tomorrow afternoon to see what the results are and get a referral, and then Wednesday I've got to go up to a specialist because now they want to keep a really close eye on me, and every 48 hours I have to go get another blood test done to see whether I have an ectopic pregnancy. If I do, it's going to be really hard next time to probably have a baby, and I'll have to have like surgery and you can get really sick from it, so they're just keeping a really close eye on me. But I guess at times like this, all I've got to think is sometimes things like this happen for a reason. Even though it's really hard to think that way right now. But whatever is happening and is out of my control, so. Morning guys, so I've like literally just woken up, listened to my voice and hopped out of the shower. And this morning I'm feeling a lot better. But I am taking a small break from YouTube, which is going to kill me. But I know at the moment I've just got so much going on. In the next 2 days, I've already got 3 appointments scheduled. So I know my life is gonna be very chaotic at the moment. I am just seriously crossing every limb of my body and praying non-stop that I'm just super early on in my pregnancy and everything is fine. Like that would just be the absolute best possible outcome. My doctor's not really thinking that that's the case. Oh my gosh, look at my hair and my face, sorry guys. But every single doctor's opinion is so bloody different that I'm not 100% trusting hers either. Like overnight I sort of sat on it, thought about it, and the lady at the ultrasound clinic seemed to think that that probably wasn't the case when we were talking about what was going on. So I know definitely there's a chance it could be, but I'm not going to get myself all upset over it when it might not even happen at the end of the day. There's just no point in stressing about it until things start to look bad. My HCG levels keep rising. I'm doing another blood test this morning and I'll get the results back this afternoon. Another blood test tomorrow, another blood test Friday. So if my HCG levels continue to rise, then that's a pretty good sign within itself. So I'm just like, I'm seriously just I'm hoping. I was talking to Kurt last night and he was like, why us? He's like, we're not bad parents. He's like, we do all the right things. Like, and both times we've tried for a baby, we've had a really hard time. He goes, even if everything goes through and it works out fine, he said, how scary has the last few weeks been? And I was like, I know, hun, but sometimes you've just got to think, maybe it's us for a reason. Maybe it's because the world knows that we'll cope. Like I said, we've got each other and we'll always pull through. And I said, if it was somebody else, I said, maybe they wouldn't cope with the situation very well. And I said, as hard as it is for us to go through this, it brings us closer together. And there's nothing we can do about it, and we know that we'll make it through. But I think Kurt just can't fathom why these things always seem to happen to us. But then at the end of the day, I always say to Kurt, but you weren't 100% sure that you were going to be able to have kids. It is amazing that we've got Mila, especially after all the dramas I went through with my pregnancy, the constant bleeding, the near miscarriages, my high-risk pregnancy, how early she came, her cleft. Like, there's just so many reasons that my body could have miscarried Mila. Like, there's so many things going on. So she is just a complete blessing. I think the only thing that's really scaring Kurt about if this is an ectopic pregnancy, I still don't think I'm saying that right, is the fact that it can be difficult in some cases to conceive again. And I know he wants a big family, so I know that that's the part that probably freaks him out a little bit. And that's definitely the part that freaks me out. But anyway, just thought I'd quickly check in and tell you guys how I'm feeling this morning. Sorry, I keep checking back in, but I'm sitting down thinking about everything that the doctor was saying. I'll be really surprised if I've got an ectopic pregnancy. I think I'm stressing out over nothing because for starters, I'll show you guys, I'll insert it here. When I took that positive test the other day, the clear blue one, which was only like a week ago, it came up 1 to 2 weeks, which I said to Kurt when I took it, I said, that's really odd. You think it would have said 3+ because I should have been about 5 to 6 weeks. Like, I should be 7 weeks now. So yeah, I should have been almost 6 weeks. And I said to Kurt, that's really odd. Then secondly, they think that it would have implanted on my ovary, which is like really, really unlikely again. And then thirdly, my HCG levels are rising. I'm seriously like hoping that this is the case. I'm really hoping this is the case, especially because of that clear blue test. I think that's a bit odd. And I didn't mention that to my doctor yesterday because honestly, I only just thought of it. And she's probably honestly just taking precautions and just trying to give me the worst possible outcome that could happen. And even though she's sort of a bit stressed out and rushing me to specialists and doing this and doing that, at the end of the day, anything could happen. So today I've got my positive hat on. I'm not going to cry today, not once. I don't know, I feel like every doctor I've seen so far, like the first one I saw on the weekend said it's definitely not that at the hospital. Then I saw another lady to scan, she's like, oh, I really doubt it'll be that. And then this lady was like, oh, that probably could be it. Like, she was really concerned. So every doctor is just so different, has such different opinions. Whereas a lady at the scan was like, I think maybe you're just really early. Like, maybe you've ovulated late and everything sort of happened later than what you had expected, which I think I'm sort of agreeing with that lady. Anyway, I'm supposed to be going in for another scan next week, so fingers crossed we see something, even if it's just a sac or something down there, to know that what they're looking at on my ovary is just a cyst and it's not where the baby's implanted. That would be like my dream come true. I reckon if I went in there and that happened in the appointment, I would literally bawl my eyes out.